1816, this is Extra Time on Gagasi FM, Hollywoodbets Pro Series. Nakhona sesibonile ikhula kakhulu, especially the female cricketers across nje South Africa and compete ke nakhona kuyona championship. Kukhona Hollywood Pro 50 and Hollywoodbets Pro 20 tournament eqhubekayo ke. This marks the significance of stepping towards professionalizing yona ke icricket esayidini labantu besifazane khona la eMzansi, inspiring young girls ukuze bakwazi ukuthi once again be pursue indawo yabo la kwi-sport, especially kwi-cricket. Nakhona i-game le thandwa about billions people around the world, and the discussion, the exciting rising of and also the impact ye-Hollywoodbets Dolphins women's team ke kuyona le season ukuthi badlale kanjani. Joining us namhlanje Extra Time on Gagasi FM, Hollywoodbets Dolphins women's team cricketer Nicole de Klerk. Mike, Nicola was here way too early before you, Mr. Macab. Way before you.
Well, that's what happens when you're a disciplined sports person. You get there ahead of time. You prepare yourself mentally. But I can see she's calm.
Yeah.
Totally calm and collected. And by the way, and please forgive me for saying this, I'm amazed at how many beautiful cricketers there are. I really am.
Mr. Macab.
And besides all of that, and I've watched a lot of women's cricket lately.
Yeah.
And I have to say this to Nicole, that I'm amazed by the increase in standard of the game, of the women's game, not only in this country but worldwide, and the interest that spectators and fans are showing in women's cricket these days. I must say, they're more emotional.
Yeah.
They're more exciting. No, they are. They're more exciting. And when, at one stage, before we sold our cricket division, we represented some really top cricketers in our agency and a lot of top women cricketers as well. And it was an absolute pleasure to deal with the ladies. But Nicole, the game has evolved over the years. It's become incredibly competitive. How long have you been in love with the sport?
Sure, I think definitely backyard cricket days with Grandad, so about like grade 2, 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then just like love for the sport, and then ended up becoming a career.
Right-hand bat?
Yeah, right-hand top order bat. Used to bowl, not anymore. Focusing on the batting a little bit.
I'm glad you said getting too old, because you're definitely not getting too old. But it's always difficult, I guess, if you're a top-class batsman. That's why when you look at a player like Jacques Kallis, you wonder how the heck did he bat so effectively and bowl so effectively. I guess that when you can focus on one discipline, you can become a little bit more astute in that discipline.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that move over from just top order bat and not necessarily an all-rounder has really shifted, but people who can do both disciplines, phenomenal.
Nicole, thank you so much for joining us Extra Time on Gagasi FM. But we're talking about the Dolphins, the team. If you look at the team and their performance as well, how would you sum up their performance so far in the Hollywoodbets 50 and 20 so far?
I think something to sum it up with, I'd say we were being fierce. I think we're very cutthroat in what we're trying to do, and we've got visions and goals that we're trying to achieve, and I think we've kind of hit the mark really well up front, and we're just hoping to continue it on in the second half of the season.
And we're talking about the Pro 20 series as well. You look at the players and also the young ladies in terms of shaping up their career as well. How important and the significance of the tournament, the Pro 50 and 20?
Huge. I don't think people understand how big this series is in terms of it creates job opportunities for girls, but also just to expand the game as a whole and just better coverage for girls. Really big. To put into perspective, I was a teacher a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Professional cricketer right now.
Full-time.
Full-time.
That's incredible. But that shows progress in the sport.
Huge
You
progress.
could never have imagined doing that 5 years ago, I would guess.
Not a chance.
Mike.
We talk about the Pro Series, it grows in prominence. We talk about how important the tournament is for the development of women's cricket. both in shaping players and inspiring the next generation of players. How many young players do you have in the Dolphin squad?
We've got a lot of young players. I think we're probably one of the youngest squads. I think the oldest person in our group is 30.
Wow, that is.
And our youngest is, I think, 18. So, yeah, big range.
Big range.
And as a senior player, the role that the senior players play in assisting the youngsters to come through, I guess, is as important on game day as it is on the training field.
Yeah, I think a big thing for us is we don't really identify ourselves as seniors and juniors. If a junior wants to step up and really help other players, I think we're big on it. But as seniors, I think we do take on that role of helping juniors in the nets and really just trying to develop as a whole, as a group. But yeah, huge for us.
Sorry.
No, I was about to ask, if you look at the cricket, women's cricket in SA, are you guys getting enough support?
We are getting huge support. I think just that turnover from Hollywoodbets taking over this pro series, just with media coverage, I think our streams have gone up. People stop you in the street. We actually finally getting recognized as a proper sport. Even our men's team comes to watch us. I think we feel the support just from just general people in Durban and just from round. So yeah, I think it's hugely supported, and I think we are looked at as more professional.
If you look at the Proteas women's cricket team, how well they've done in the last two editions of the Cricket World Cup, that obviously must inspire people like yourself to continue to strive to becoming better, continue to strive to play national team cricket. Would you say that it's had an enormous influence on the younger cricketers in South Africa?
Huge. I think they're a huge inspiration. I think they also set the standard, which is amazing to see. There's so many levels that they kind of playing on. So as a domestic cricketer, you have to kind of lift your own level to get there. And then youngsters now being able to go and watch games, better media coverage. They're now getting so inspired and wanting to play cricket in schools, and just that availability of the game to the girls is just so much bigger now.
You talk about the massive influence that Hollywoodbets has had on cricket, the series, the Pro 50, the Pro 20 series, but on cricket in general. I think it's a vision of Hollywoodbets to uplift, and I'm not going to say the more obscure sports because they're involved across the board, but to take a lot more interest in trying to uplift areas of sport that needs massive support and sponsorship. Would you say that they are super active in that space?
I cannot agree more. I joke a lot with friends saying we always felt like we were making waves, but no one was on the beach watching us. And Hollywoodbets has kind of been that metaphoric person of bringing benches to the beach, and we feel like they're making waves with us. So yeah, I think it's hugely beneficial having them on board.
Are they quite interactive with you guys?
Hugely interactive. I think also with our space and being Hollywoodbets Dolphins, I think we get a lot more interaction with them. But yeah, Caroline for us has just been phenomenal. You feel like you're special, like they really make a point of just bringing you in, and like you do, it's quite cliche, but you feel like family, you feel like you belong somewhere wherever you go with them, and they really just look after you.
As a young girl, I can imagine sitting there at home thinking, Obuti, as you said, a year ago, you were
a teacher,
an 8 to 5 job, and now you're a professional cricketer. There are ladies at home right now. A message of hope?
Keep going. There was women before us that had no job whatsoever, even before me. And they strived and they continued to work hard. So I think if you work hard and you're disciplined and you believe well enough and you manage yourself really well, you have an opportunity.
We now talk about Nicole de Klerk. And your aspirations, your ambitions over the next number of years.
I think everyone really wants to play nationally for their country. I think that will always be an inspiration for me. I think I just need to control my controllables right now and just do the best domestically. I really want to just do well domestically and just help my team over the line and get those trophies, and whatever comes of it may come of it. But yeah, I think everyone strives to play for their country one day.
You talk about controlling the controllables. What a beautiful saying, because the truth is often we play so many stories and over stories in our minds. We we lose our direction, and we can become very despondent and very depressed with a lack of, let's say, progress. And I think we're the majority of us are built in a way that we want success to happen now. But the truth is, a beautiful discussion, I think, with John Rahm, the golfer, and they said, when he became the number one in the world, they said, my God, where did you come from? That's an overnight success. He said, yeah, it was an overnight success, probably that took 16 years. You said grade 1, grade 2 started the foundation of you playing cricket. Is it important for the younger generation, who I know are more impatient than 10 years ago and 20 years ago? Is it important for them to understand as impatient as they are, and the quality of impatience can be used in the right way? Is it also important for them to understand that building blocks and time is so important if you want to establish a career with longevity?
Yeah, Mike, I can't agree more. I think we want things overnight, and we believe we're supposed to be somewhere when we've worked so hard, and you actually look back on it and we're doing half the work that we maybe should have done before making something. So I think patience is a big one, and understanding the role that you have within the space at the moment, and just trusting that you are supposed to be where you are.
We all have a role model that we aspire to. In women's cricket, who would that be for you?
I think a big thing for me, a little bit controversial, she's an Aussie, but Elise Perry was kind of a...
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
She was kind of a star in the sense of she kind of sensationalized cricket a little bit. And before this huge media coverage happened, and cricket absolutely blew up in the women's space, I think she carried a lot of the weight on her shoulders. But not only her, the Denisha Devnarans, Trish Chetty's of our generation, Chloe's that are still kind of playing, Shabnam Ishmael, and even Cup. Those girls started off, and it's so hard to explain, in the sense that they almost had nothing. They were there playing for the love of the sport.
Crazy.
And just their benefit of just making sure they were sticking out in the system, and just making sure that there was some form of longevity for us to come. I think we really need to pay homage to that, because phenomenal.
My final question, in the men's game,
oh no,
of all time, favorite cricketer?
Jacques Kallis.
All-rounder.
Yeah.
Best all-rounder in the world, Jacques Kallis. Nicole, thank you so much. Don't be a stranger. This is your home.
Absolutely.
And we would love, myself and Mike McCubb, to attend one of you guys' training sessions.
Yeah. And
maybe have a chat, you guys and other ladies as well, just to chat about cricket and also challenges that you guys are facing. But hopefully, since Hollywoodbets has been part of your team, which is Dolphins, we might see different. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, James.
Pleasure.
This is Extra Time. Nicole, thank you so much from Hollywoodbets Dolphins. So that's my calls. Okay, then it's a Soweto derby. Sifuna nje ibhenchi lakho kuphela namhlanje.
Before we talk about the Soweto derby, I'm absolutely amazed at our guests that come into the studio.
Yeah.
Either they choose them very carefully, because to be honest, every single one of them can present better than you and I.
Exactly. Hence I said to her, don't be a stranger to the airwaves.
Absolutely.
This is Extra Time on Gagasi.